There we go.
There we go. I'm not roaring in your ears anymore.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not deaf anymore. And this is why you do a test before. Is it acceptable that I have a glass of wine while we
go for it? Yes, quite right.
I love wine.
Oh, I'm with you there.
It's the best.
Hello and welcome to the Dishin It Podcast, the place to be for all things food and drink in Aberdeen, Aberdeenshire and wider Scotland. So I'm back for a second series, and what a series I have for you. It's been a busy few months here at Food Fever HQ, but that hasn't stopped me meeting with 8 food-fueled local brands and content creators from across Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire. On this series, I've switched the format a bit to give guests the power to pause time and travel anywhere in Scotland to create their dream food safari. What a power that is. And in that safari is their top picks to dine for starter, main and dessert, or breakfast, lunch and dinner if they so choose. And what a portfolio they've created. First up is Kendall from Simply Doughnuts, whose donut empire has excelled over the past year. I couldn't wait to catch up with her to talk all things sweet treats, starting up a dream business, and I was really interested to know the challenges that come with keeping up a brand that people can't get enough of. She was an absolute joy to record with, and I know you will smile from ear to ear during this chat, much like I did. So I'll get things started and I'll see you at the end. Enjoy.
Okay, the apron is off and the headphones are on as the Queen of Donut Royalty joins me for this episode of Dishing It. Kendall, welcome to the podcast. She stood with her hands on her face. I'll be nice, don't worry.
What an intro. Thanks for having me.
You went from a normal shade to quite a shade of pink now, sorry.
And maybe it's the wine.
Yeah, it could be the wine. Could be the wine. Are you all good?
I'm all good. Yeah.
All good. Busy day of donut making?
It was a busy day. Yeah, a really busy day. So I think when it's back-to-back donuts, it tends to be busy in the morning. And then I'm like, okay, I have a little bit of a break and then on to prepping for the next day. So, but I'm done now. I'm done for the day now. Yes.
You've got your red wine at the ready and you're ready just for a nice old food chat. The best sort of chat.
Absolutely.
Great. So it's been well documented on the podcast and in my general life how long it's taken me to get my hands on some Simply Donuts. And I finally managed to a few weeks ago, literally. And they did not disappoint and they were worth the wait, even though it was over a year. But it's fantastic to see that you're still selling out so quickly and people love the donuts. It's absolutely fantastic. So anyone listening, if you haven't tried them yet, get them in your basket. I mean, Kendall might have a meltdown. They've just got more donuts to make and more people coming to the website, but she'll love it all the same, I'm sure. But for those who are listening who maybe haven't heard about Simply Donuts, do you want to fill us all in?
I mean, the name I feel like says it all, but just donuts. It's just kind of just a happy place, just to have, just a sweet treat, donut. Just to bring a smile to your face. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's kind of where it all comes from, is just the joy of feeding people. And, I feed my family all the time. And that's kind of where you hang out as a family or just as friends. It's around food and in the kitchen and stuff. And so it kind of was just a natural progression out of that I would end up feeding other people and just finding such joy in that. So,
amazing. Yeah. And you do small batches of donuts, don't you?
I do. Yeah. So I call them gourmet donuts, whether they are or not, I don't know, but
they definitely are.
I call them.
They definitely are. Definitely gourmet. They're fantastic. And Kendall's based in Aberdeen. She is based on the Donmouth, which has a fantastic view. You must see some seals in the morning, do you?
We do. Yes. I don't go down to the beach nearly as much as I should. It's when you live in a place where everyone else is the touristier area. Yeah. And so but then whenever I do go down there, I'm just like, why don't I come down here more? But I was down there the other day and there was a seal that was following me as I was walking down the beach. And of course, when I tried to take a photo, it disappeared, but yes.
It was all a dream. All a dream. So how did Simply Donuts all come about? How did it all start for you?
So it was really just a fluke. One of my friends that I knew from uni in the States, she also loves baking and loves cooking and whatnot. And so she had posted on Instagram one day about some donuts that she made. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really need to try making that. I've never done that before. And this was, oh gosh, when was this? I don't know, 2019, the very beginning of the year. And I just decided to make some, and it was a success on the first try. I will tell you that I have had some very unsuccessful batches, but that first one was just like beginner's luck. I was like, this is amazing.
It was meant to be.
It was. And so then after that, and that was just regular donuts. And then after that, in a Bible study group that I was part of, where we would bring food every night to our meetings, I would always typically be in charge of desserts. And so I was like, well, we have a vegan in the group, so most of it had to be vegan desserts, which was great because it really pushed my repertoire of cooking and baking. And so I was like, you know what, let's just try vegan donuts. And so that's what I did. I made donuts for that group. They loved them. And then I'm like, you know what? There's not really a lot of donut places around here, so why not just sell them? And that's just literally where it began. It wasn't something I had thought about before. I never was planning on being a baker because I'm not trained in that at all. And so, yeah, it just kind of was just a fluke.
It just grew from there.
Situation,
and
yeah.
Was it that sort of thing that, I mean, when I remember seeing you come on the scene, I remember there's been this big, massive boom and everyone was talking about you. Yeah. Was it literally like a boom for you, or was it a kind of slow burner for a while? And no, I can see the fear in your eyes. You're like, yeah, it was a boom.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it really, really was. Like when I first started, it was a slow trickle where I was doing like 60 donuts a month, and that was it. And it was over like 2 weekends. But it was a very slow start for probably about a year, to the point where I was like, should I even be doing this anymore? Like, this is just going so slow. And then all of a sudden the pandemic hit and everyone wanted to just have comfort food. And then it just exploded. And that was it. So yeah, it was very fast and it was very overwhelming. But like in the best way, but I would open up ordering, and my ordering system was very different to what it is now. And it was just, I would have my glass of wine and just going, okay, this is just going to like trickle through, I'll be here for a while waiting for orders to come in. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, I can't keep on top of this. Let's shut this down now after like 5 minutes. And so, yeah, it was very, very sudden.
And it's literally like, I have been on the website, obviously I tried for about a year, but had been on the website and literally, and I mean, I would set reminders on my phone, like the shop opens at 8 p.m. You need to be there. So I would get an alarm on saying Simply Donuts opens in like 5 minutes. I'd be ready. I feel like I was waiting for tickets for like Shania Twain or something. Like I was sitting like waiting, like, oh my God, right. And I'm gonna get like Ticketmaster, like ticking, like the little spindle ticking over. And I'm not even joking, like 2 minutes and they'd all be gone. Like it was insane. Nuts. And it still is like that, because I've still like, I mean, the only time I actually managed to get it was because you gave me a tip off, because I was going to go to Forest Farm and I was like, I can't wait to get these. I'm going to try after work. And you're like, there's 3 left on the website. Go now. It didn't come from me. But yeah, but I love stuff like that. And I think, do you think if the pandemic didn't happen, things would be as it is now? Or do you think it would have been a slow, like you would be where you are now, but it would have just taken longer?
I really don't know, obviously, but, I really believed that I had a product that was worth selling, that, I've been self-employed for the past 11 years. And so I knew that I had something that was marketable and sellable, and something that nobody else was really doing. Yes, there are places that make donuts in Aberdeen. I'm not the only one. But making them in the way that I do, or with the flavors that I do, I knew that that was different. And so I feel like eventually it maybe would have taken off, but it just would have been a lot slower of a burn. And maybe to the point where I would have been like, I don't know if I'm doing this anymore. but I would love to think that I still would have, but I don't know. But that's obviously not how my story is. Mine was one that more took off very quickly. So yeah. Although I would like to say that it did take a year, just for anyone else who is like starting businesses and stuff. Like, it wasn't just an immediate, you know, putting that product out there. It was a year of learning and just, you know, just slogging through it to where it eventually got to where it is now. So wasn't immediate. But.
And it's good to get, I suppose, to get that year to actually perfect it and get it how you, so then when it did boom, you were actually ready. And you could, yes, it was like a massive brain fry, but you could cope with it. Like, you're like, right, okay, I actually know what I'm doing. So it's fine. I can make donuts. I just have to stay up till 8 o'clock the next morning. It's fine. We'll get through it. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Who needs sleep? So what would you say has been your biggest highlight, even starting from the very first day you started? What's been the biggest highlight over from then till now?
I feel like the cheesy answer is to say just all the people that I've met, but that's genuinely it. You know, and I think one of the other biggest highlights is just because my business really took off during the pandemic, and just hearing the feedback of just how much joy it brought. And I don't know if it was maybe the game of trying to order donuts before they all sold out that gave people a highlight each month. I don't know.
It was a lockdown quiz.
It was a lockdown activity. And so I don't know if that's it, but you know, but I just, the feedback I kept getting is that it was just a highlight of people's months through it. And it gave people something to look forward to. And so really the highlight has purely been just being able to show up for people month after month and getting to know people, and just the chats that I've had on my doorstep as people pick up, and the other businesses that I've met. And so that might be a cheesy answer, but it's the truth.
No, it's a good answer. It's a good answer. We like the truth as well. We always like the truth. And it must be such a nice feeling to obviously have a loyal fan base. Customer base, fans and customers, same thing. But it must be nice to have that loyal base, but it also must be really nice seeing new people coming each month as well, and still being, oh well, other people are still finding out about me and still wanting, because everyone just shares it, so more people see it, and it's really nice. Just, it must be such a nice feeling.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very humbling. I never feel like I deserve this business. Or the people who are constantly buying. I don't feel like I deserve it whatsoever. And so I'm just so humbled by the people who do keep showing up, and just all my regulars, and just shouting about it from the rooftops. And it's amazing.
Definitely. And I do have to ask, I wondered this when I picked up my donuts. So the bit we pick it up from, I should say, better. Is that your original kitchen that you've transformed into your area? Because guys, she's got it's like a post office in there. It's like a little pigeonhole system, and it's great. And I remember looking and being like, oh God, I didn't actually think about that part of it. We had Fat Sparrow Bakery on last series, and he obviously cooks it from his kitchen, and thinking about other ways of expanding and whatever. And you forget about that part of people who do small batch home baking, that they have to actually use their own home. And sometimes there's not two kitchens.
Yeah, 100%. It was, when I started my business, I was just in my kitchen in my house, and but I just would explode all over it, and it just wasn't conducive to family life. You know, especially having 2 kids running around, and you're like, just don't touch the donuts. Don't touch anything.
What torture for them. They must be like, what, we don't get any of these?
I know, I sound like a terrible mother, but just don't touch anything. And so, so that was really difficult, but I already had in the front of my house, my office, because I am a photographer. And so this was already my office. And so then again, once the pandemic hit and I took a couple months off from making donuts, we decided to convert it into my kitchen. And so, so this is where I do everything. Although now we've converted the front part of our garage into my little pop-up donut shop.
Cool.
So starting in tomorrow, but when everyone hears this September, that'll be my pickup spot. So I'll have like a little donut shop.
Oh, ace.
So
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. That way people don't have to come to my door if I haven't had a chance to like clean after baking. And, I don't want people to
Another
see
stress
that.
you don't need.
So,
Another stress
exactly.
you don't need.
So I can just kind of close the door and just go out to my garage, and that's where people go. So yeah.
That's great. And so the flavor combinations you have are insane. So the order that I got was the raspberry cream, the Nutella, and the tomato and shallot savory donuts.
Yes.
Holy moly. I just didn't, because I remember when I got it and I was like, oh, savory donut. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Like, it's only three I can get. I'm gonna get them all. Like, I'm just gonna sell this one out. And it was my favorite one by far. Like, I love them all, but it was my favorite one. And I never thought I'm a sweet tooth. And I was like, amazing. Where do you take your inspiration from for your flavors? Because you have all sorts of stuff going on.
I do. So my inspiration comes from a whole heap of places. So from the age of 10, I grew up overseas. Lived the first 10 years of my life in the States. And then after that, grew up in different countries and whatnot, and around different cultures and different types of food. And so a lot of my inspiration comes from that, just flavors that I've had in the past, things that I've tried, things I would love to just infuse into the donuts. I also am a huge fan of cooking shows and just all sorts of food related Netflix series and whatnot. And so a lot of it does come from that, where I'll see something and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could translate that into a donut somehow. There's one that I've not tried this yet, just because the process is a little bit, it's not that time consuming. I just haven't done it, but where you grill fruit and then put that like in the icing, or even just like on the top on some cream. So I would love to do stuff like that, but that all came from a Netflix series on barbecuing. And so, but yeah, so it just comes from all over the place, just the places I've lived and the people I've met. And yeah.
Oh, amazing. Oh. And what's your favorite flavor to make? Do you have one?
Ooh, that's really the first one that popped into my head was the toasted almond one. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. It's a very, like, I love marzipan and it just smells really, really good. And it tastes really good. So that's the first one that popped into my head. That's just kind of one of my like go-to classics. But I really do like making the savory ones as well. That one that you tried, I say shallot. What do you call it? Shallot?
Shallot. Yeah, okay. I probably say it wrong. I say a lot of words wrong.
No, I think I just say it the American way. Just butchering it. But
what's the American way of saying it?
I say shallot.
Shallot. Sounds a lot better.
But then we also say shallot too. I think it just kind of depends on where in the States you're from.
Yeah, what mood you're in.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
I said shallot today.
I'll say shallot. So that one that you tried, that was only the second ever savory one that I've done. And so I really do like doing the savory ones because I think that people don't expect it, which is so weird because a donut, it's kind of similar to like a brioche, like it's just a buttery dough. Yeah. And so with a little bit of sugar in it. So why not just stick like cheese and herbs in it and stuff. So yeah, I do like doing the savory ones.
Oh, amazing. And I imagine there must be a controversial flavor that you really want to try, but you just don't know how it's going to land.
That's a really tough one because I feel like oftentimes if there's a controversial flavor, I just do it.
Yeah, and just see how it goes.
And I just see how it goes.
Like, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I just
stop me.
Yeah, exactly.
The donut police.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, I make what I want to eat and the flavors that I like. And I feel like I wouldn't serve something that tasted terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so yeah, if there's a flavor that I want to do, I'll just do it. And sometimes I have tried different flavors that just have not worked. And at that point I will not put that out to the public,
Yeah.
or I'll revisit it at a later date. But there is one flavor I would love to do. I don't know how I would do it, but there's an Egyptian spice blend that's called dukkha. And it's made, oh, it's so good, but it's made of like just different seeds and nuts and spices, and you toast it all up, and then you like mortar and pestle it. And then you usually would put it in olive oil and then eat it with like pita bread. And it's just so good. If you've never tried it, you need to try it. You can make it yourself. Oh, it's the best. Anyways, and so I would love to do a donut that somehow has that, whether it's a savory donut that you have that you dip into it and then eat it, kind of almost treating it like a pita bread, something like that, or just coating the whole thing in that. I don't know, but that's one flavor I have.
I like the sound of that one. You definitely
in
have
mind.
If you need a taste tester, I'll
Perfect.
take it.
Wonderful.
And you have a long list of collaborations under your belt. What benefits do you think collaboration has brought your business?
So as I had mentioned, I am a photographer. That was my first business, and I'm still doing that. But the best thing about that was just having friendships within that industry, and being able to work together. Because obviously when you're doing a wedding, you often have a second photographer. And so having that network of people who are all in the same thing, who are all, going through a lot of the same struggles, or have the same like highlights in their business and, whatnot, is just so helpful to go through, or just any business. When you are owning your own business, it's so nice to go through that journey with other people. And so I think with the collaborating, yes, it's amazing to work together on projects and, and put a product out there. That is really fun. But I think the best thing that comes from it is simply just the friendships that evolve from that, knowing that you have somewhere you can turn to if you do have a question, or you have a problem in your business, or whatnot that you don't know how to solve, or what, just having that network of people who can build you up and you can also build them up, I think is the best part about collaborating.
Yeah, definitely. And I think in Aberdeen just now, something that is a theme that always comes up when I'm speaking to people. And yeah, I think the city anyway is getting much better at collaborating, and all these little brands and growing brands are all like collaborating together. It's just really nice to see. And as you say, it's nice for everyone to build each other up, soundboard, bounce ideas off, and group together in times of need and struggle and stuff. It's great. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, for sure. And there was, when I first started photography, there's this photographer named Natalie Frank, and she had this slogan that she came up with that she's pretty much based her business. She's moved away from photography now, but and it's community over competition. And I think that is just, I think that's what it needs to be, is that at the end of the day, we all have a goal for our businesses. We all have something that we're striving towards. And sometimes our products can look similar, but we're all community, and that we all have a place. We all have a place in the game. And so I think that's exactly what collaborating is. It's creating community over competition.
That's a good tagline. I love that.
It is.
I hope she copyrighted that. That's a really good tagline.
I know, it's so good.
Maybe that's why she's not doing photography anymore, because she's making money off that tagline.
Well, she is. She's writing books and she's a speaker.
Oh, there we
and so,
go.
Yeah.
Makes sense now. And I love now that obviously we were catching up before we started recording, but you're selling your donuts through Figment Coffee, and you're providing to Forest Farm. You did the gelato and donut thing, which is where I tried to first go over and get them. But should we expect any more Simply Donuts stocking around the city, do you think?
Not at the moment. I've definitely had opportunities for it that I would love to explore, but I am just at capacity.
Yeah.
I just can't even do any more without hiring someone at some point to work with me. So for now, it's just the two places, but who knows? who knows in the future?
Who knows what happens?
What could happen?
Who knows?
So.
And that takes me nicely on to the next question I was going to ask. And obviously the support out there has been insane. As you say, you're at capacity with stuff. Does it get really hard to say no when there's so much demand? Like, you hear businesses that kind of overstretch themselves because they're like, oh yeah, we can do this, we can do that, and people need it, so we're gonna like either make lots of money or we're gonna get famous or whatever. And it gets really hard to they always say like they sold their soul to the devil and then whatever. But do you ever feel you get to a point that you're like, no, I need to say no to this one? Like if someone phones you and says, I need 10 donuts for a birthday party.
Yeah.
Like, no,
sure.
sorry, can't.
Sure.
Yeah.
So because I've been in business for so long, that is something that I have learned is how to say no. I am very precious with my time and with what I offer. And if something doesn't fit with like the vision of my business or the vision for my family life or just my lifestyle, then I am 100% okay saying no.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're overworked, it's not going to bring you joy. And you start your business because you find joy in something. You're not doing it. I didn't start making donuts to make money, I started making it because it made me happy. It made other people happy. And it was just fun. And so the moment that it really starts to impact your life and making you stressed out and just anxious all the time, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I had some type of free time, then it's time to say no. And so it's just learning that balance that I have learned because of being in business. And so I don't have that really happen to me anymore. And that's why I have like a minimum order, because then it is worth my time. And I have had to tell quite a few businesses that I just can't, even though I would love to, and it breaks my heart to have to say no, but purely because I know that I just would not be able to offer my best to them.
Yeah.
And then it's not worth it for anybody. So
definitely. And I think it's such a good learning to take from that. And I know for me, it was actually through lockdown, all these motivational quotes people share and on someone's story they put up, and I think it was actually maybe a Vex King. It was like one of those sort of people. And it was treat your time like currency, spend it wisely.
Mm-hmm.
And since I've saw that, I'm just like, actually, yeah, that like is actually so true. And I think we're all guilty of trying to do too much, and I'm still bad at it, but some people just thrive off it. But there does get to a point that, as you say, you just get stressed out, you stop enjoying it, and you need to try and strike a balance. And that's something I still need to learn how to do. Recording this podcast series is like during a really busy time, because I don't know why I bloody decided to, but here we are. But it's that thing, it is so important to take time and just balance it.
And it's choosing opportunities that come along. Like at the end of the day, opportunities are always going to be there, and it's choosing the ones that bring you life, and that you find fulfillment, joy, and just give you a sense of purpose. And if when you're answering those questions about an opportunity, if your answer is maybe it doesn't, then it's probably best to say no and let someone else have that opportunity who maybe that would bring them life. And so
you need to write a book. Write a book as well. I know you've not got time, but write a book.
No, I would love to write a book. That is one of my dreams. I have nothing to say, but I would love to write a book.
Oh, it could be called Simply Life.
Simply. Oh.
Yeah, there we go. I'll help you write it. There we go. We've got another thing to do now.
Perfect.
We'll leave that one for another day. So what do you think is next for Simply Donuts?
Oh gosh. I have no idea. I mean, I would love to have my own donut shop. Just put that out there. That's never been a secret. I would love for that to be the case one day. I would love to have a social enterprise through that helps and helps employ women who just find themselves in unfortunate circumstances, and provides an education and just a job and just opportunity. So I would love for that to be the case one day. How to go about doing that, not a clue, but I know that when the time is right, I'll know. So yeah, I don't know. So for now, it's just to kind of continue on, grow as much as I can, and then to the point where I'm exploding donuts out of my house, and then it's very clear that I probably need a shop.
In the words of Natasha Bedingfield, the rest is still unwritten.
Exactly.
That's the best way to keep it. Best way to keep it. And it could be in the future, who knows? But do you think you would ever stray into other bakery goods? Or would you like to just focus on donuts because that's your thing?
I'll probably just focus on donuts. Why break it if it ain't broke?
Exactly.
Like, why do something else? So, but who knows?
Who knows?
Again, who knows?
I'll walk into your donut shop and you'll have like a slice of lemons. I was like, you said you weren't going to do cake.
The only thing that I like, and I joke about this, my husband's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I would love to do salads.
Oh, okay, I didn't think you were going to say that.
I know. I really love a salad that's just like loaded with all the stuff. And so I'm like, well, you could get your healthy salad and then you walk out with a donut. And then there's,
oh my God, you could do salads with like little donut croutons.
Oh my gosh.
That could be good.
That would be so funny.
They'd be really hard to do, I imagine, but it could be so cute.
Well, no, if I have like leftover donuts that I didn't sell, you just chop them up and then bake them into croutons.
Sustainability at the forefront.
Yeah, food waste. Yeah.
See, there we go. Well, in summary, the future is bright. Put it that way. Okay, I'm dying to know some baking tips. I mean, I say tips, there's only one thing I'm going to ask you, but I know it will be good. What's a baking hack that you swear by?
So I think the flax egg is my biggest hack. And every vegan out there is like, well, yeah, duh, that we all know this. But but because my donuts are vegan, sometimes like the toppings and whatnot will not be. But 90% of the time they're vegan. I am not vegan, but I have learned how to translate being able to make any type of baking recipe vegan, which has really come in handy when my kids are demanding pancakes in the morning and I don't have eggs and we don't actually use like real butter anyways, but same with milk, there's only a tiny bit of milk and the recipe calls for buttermilk. And so I'm like, well, I know that I can mix oat milk with lemon juice and make buttermilk. And I can use a flax egg. So flaxseed with water. If you let that sit, it will congeal into like an egg consistency.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I've not even heard of that before. Oh, amazing.
A flax egg. And so stuff like that has saved me on so many occasions where I'm like, I have bananas that are like going bad and I need to just make them into a banana bread. And so I'm like, well, I don't have anything, but I have flaxseed because they go into my donuts. And so I'm like, okay, I can make a vegan banana bread. And so, yeah, so the flax egg, if you can just make that, then you can pretty much make everything.
So everyone basically should get a stock of flaxseed for their house and then they'll be saved.
Yes.
That's what we needed for the pandemic. Not all the tins of tomatoes and all the, what was the other thing that always sold? Flour as well. Well, maybe you do kind of need.
I mean, I guess you can.
Actually, you can't. Flax egg doesn't solve everything.
You could just eat bowls of like flaxseed, but it probably wouldn't be very enjoyable.
Oh God, the nutrients though. Nutrients would be great.
Oh, it's so good for you. So yeah, the flax egg.
Flax egg. I'm going to try that.
That's where it's at.
That's something that it'll always be eggs we don't have or milk or something, or it'll be something like that.
Exactly.
Great. See, I knew that was going to be a good answer. And if I was to have a business like yours, like it would be chaos. Like it would just everything. It would be a mess. Everything would go wrong. I would burn things, stuff. Like I wouldn't have the boom that you did. I'd have like a angry mob outside my house with pitchforks, being like, "You sold me a lemon." What's been your biggest baking disaster? And it doesn't have to be through Simply Donuts, just in general.
Okay, so it was not through Simply Donuts. I mean, I've had a few of those, but I tell this story quite often. My husband likes to embellish it, and his version is wrong. So I have the correct version of events. But when we first got married, I bought a book by Betty Crocker. Do you get Betty Crocker over here?
I think we do, but I think I just know her from people. Yeah, I think I know the name.
Okay, so Betty Crocker is like it's a brand, and so you can get all sorts of like box mixes of cakes. And
sorry, I'm thinking of that person that went to jail.
Oh my gosh,
what's she called?
Why am I forgetting her name?
Barbara.
No,
not Barbara. What's her name?
Oh, it's really good.
Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart.
Moira.
Martha. That's who I'm thinking of.
Okay.
No, Betty Crocker is like the box brownies and mixes, and yes, we do get that here. I think.
Instant foods. So
there you go. Sorry, Martha Stewart.
Sorry, Martha Stewart.
Sorry.
So Betty Crocker. So you can get a cookbook of Betty Crocker. It's terrible.
Oh.
I'll just say that.
It's Betty.
Really not good at all. And so I had that cookbook when we first got married, and I decided to make a recipe out of it. He was at work, and so I was home, and I was like, okay, this recipe sounds really weird. Maybe this is where my like weird combinations have come from. But it was a pear and onion like casserole type thing. I know. And I was like, well, this could be awful, but it could also be like amazing. What a weird combination. Let's try it. And so I made that. And also, let me just preface this with, I didn't know how to cook back then.
Okay.
I have taught myself since then. This was like 11 years ago. And so I did not know how to cook. But I tried really hard.
That's the main thing.
I really tried. And so I made this, and it was just the most disgusting, soupy mess of no color, because you imagine pears and white onions, like there is no color to that. And so it was just terrible. So we ended up, I know.
Such a random combo.
I know. It was not good. So yeah, so that was my baking disaster, my main one. I've had many, but that was the one that sticks out as like just an early marriage fail.
It just always stays with you.
Yeah, it does. So we had takeout.
Yeah, quite right. That's what takeout's for.
It is.
I know you're not an expert in Martha Stewart, but why did she go to jail? Because I've always wondered that, and I know it's always joked about in like comedy roasts and all that stuff. I actually don't understand why she went to jail. Did she actually go to jail? Or is that just a joke?
She did.
She did.
I want to say, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of people listening going, no, that was not it. But I feel like it was tax evasion.
Oh, okay. I thought she like decked someone in the street or something. That's what I thought.
No.
Tax avoid. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it was that. Yeah.
Happens to all the big stars.
Happens to the best of us. Yeah.
Anyway, as we digress. So let's unleash your food recommendations. It's time for your food safari, and you have chosen to go out for your starter, your main, and your dessert. Where are you going, and what are you ordering?
Sure. Does this also include an after dinner drink?
It
Was
does.
that part of it too?
It does. I sometimes just ask that after because I feel like I just talk for so long. I'm like, an after dinner drink.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, well, I filled it in for you. Okay.
It's okay, thank you. You can be a co-host next time.
No worries. Great. So this was really, really hard to figure out. And I have to say, the first place I've actually never been to, but I want to go.
I love this confidence.
We'll just preface it with that. So my starter would be from the Kale Yard. Have you ever been there? Okay.
I've not even heard of it.
I am not going to pronounce where it's located because I will 100% butcher it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So you can just look it up, the Kale yard.
Right, I'm going to Google it and see where it is.
To be fair, I even asked my husband and he wasn't sure. And he is Scottish, by the way. So as an American, I'm just not going to try.
Yeah, so it's Aldern Nairn. But yeah, I'm not convinced. That's
okay, so that I probably wouldn't have had a problem with. It's the house that it's part of.
Oh, let me see the house.
Because it's the restaurant of this like estate.
Oh, the walled garden both house?
How did you pronounce it?
Both?
Does it have an okay? Is it BOATH? Is that what it is?
BOATH.
Okay, both. Maybe that's what my husband said too. And I was like, I feel like that's too simple, but maybe.
You never, I mean, us Scots, we are weird. Like it's probably not even it's probably like, oh no, it's bouet. I don't know, who knows?
Something fancy.
Yeah.
So anyway,
cool.
so it's the Kale yard at both. And so and so I actually can't really see a full menu, but they did post one the beginning of August, and they have a Thai fish cake and a watermelon salad, both which are right at my alley. So yes, that is what I would order.
Sounds amazing.
For my starter. I love a watermelon salad. Always.
Yes. Something I've never tried, and melon's not my favorite fruit, I'm not gonna lie, but I do like watermelon. I would rather that than the normal one. I don't, is it called I don't know what, I don't know.
Normal one. There's like so many varieties of melons.
Like the normal one, the yellow one, the yellow one. But yeah, I remember on TikTok someone made, I can't remember what someone was like, oh, I'm dying for sushi, but all I had in the house was a watermelon. So what I did was this, and basically chopped it up, put the watermelon in soy sauce, left it for like a day, and then took it out, and it's like salmon. And I was like, just go out and buy sushi.
No, wait, no, I have seen something about that. Because you can get like, was it some restaurant does like watermelon steaks?
Yeah,
and it's like
it was that.
Yes. Okay. So that girl is not the original.
Okay.
Came up with that.
Okay.
There's another business that was doing that before.
TikTok's always ripping off things, aren't they? You steal people's voices to voice over them. Of course people are going to steal ideas on there.
You do. But I love a watermelon salad. So watermelon, like halloumi, and then a balsamic glaze. Oh, so
that sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh well, so when you do eventually go, let me know how that.
Yes, I will.
Great. So where are you going for your main?
So I am a huge fan of staying home. No, I do love going out.
The comedy timing there was great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I am a huge fan of staying home, but also like charcuterie boards. I love them so much. So my main would be either like a sharing box from Platter or Wandering Graze.
Yes.
So good.
Both
so good.
Amazing businesses.
Yes, totally.
Really great. I had Platter recently at an event, and it was like a cheese board box. And I remember like just being, oh yeah, it's gonna have like a tiny bit of cheese. Yeah. This was like a shader with 3, but I ate it all. But it was great, and they don't hold back, and they like both of them, Platter and Wandering Graze, amazing. And it's great that Wandering Graze have their bit out at Chapelton now.
I know, I've not been, so I need to go.
I haven't been out yet, but definitely.
Yeah.
Great.
So no, that would be my choice, because I just love charcuterie. That was from I lived in Napa Valley for a year after my husband and I got married. So wine country in California, like,
place to be.
I know. And so that was what you often did. Like everyone went out to dinner all the time and you had amazing wine, hence why I have wine tonight. And then you would all just share food. My husband doesn't like to share food with me. And so this is the only way to share. But no, otherwise I love a charcuterie board.
So what's like your top cheese that needs to be on that board? Do you have one?
Ooh, I don't think I could tell you that.
No,
not because it's a secret, but just Yeah.
You'd say one, you'd be like, oh no, actually no, this one.
I know. Oh no, I love brie.
Yeah,
I really love brie, like a lot.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
great.
good.
Great. And what about dessert?
Okay. So I know that you said in the brief for this that we were pausing time and going to different places.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to also time travel while we're at it.
I love this. Great.
Is that all right?
Yeah. There's no rules. You do what you like, as long as it's in Scotland.
It is.
I mean, hopefully not Scotland like 18 AD, like
Outlander time period.
I want, yeah.
So I love sticky toffee pudding.
Oh yes.
And so I would go back to Udney Arms. It was still open.
Yeah.
I get some sticky toffee pudding. I know that there's lots of places that do it, but I feel like that's where I would have to go if I have the ability to stop time and also time travel. So yes, I love sticky toffee because I am not from here, but my family lived here for 11 years. And now I've been here for another 5 years on top of that. And my husband's Scottish. It just is like a taste of home for me because this is home for me.
Yeah.
And so whenever I lived away, it was always like, oh, sticky toffee, what I would do for just.
I think it is that thing that like, even I was actually listening to another podcast today and they were talking about sticky toffee and they were saying like, you have to go to Scotland for sticky toffee because it's never as good anywhere else because there's just something that we do up here. Like everyone's got their own knack to it as well. I think that's why it's so hard to find like the best one.
Yeah.
But like my mum, like when she makes it, she whizzes up all the dates and stuff. So there's actually no dates in it. Well, there is dates in it, but you don't taste them. And then the sauce is like super thick, but then other places do it really runny. And there was a place, Melt. I don't, Melt, the place that did the cheese toasties. So when they opened up the restaurant, they had their own take on a sticky toffee pudding, and it was heaven. It was good. It was like that toffee sauce you get in a jar.
Yeah.
In a can, sorry. Yeah, it was like they used they recreated that, and it was like It was fantastic. But Howies might sort it for you for a sticky toffee pudding. They do a good one. I mean,
it's not that I've not had any good sticky, because there are just, it's, you can throw a stone and you'll find some sticky toffee. And so, but I'm like, if I'm going to say sticky toffee, I'll just go back to the original.
The original source.
Yes.
I think it's that thing as well. Any eatery that has arms at the end of it, you're going to get a good sticky toffee.
Yeah, totally.
You just know.
Totally.
Love it. And is your drink a glass of sticky toffee sauce?
Some type of cocktail that has sticky toffee in it. Oh, that'd be awful.
Very thick.
Yes, it would be. I know. So for an after dinner drink, I do like cocktails, but I've already mentioned wine several times in this recording. But I really love a glass of wine. I did not like wine for the longest time until I moved to California. And then it's kind of non-negotiable. You're not allowed to live in Northern California if you don't like wine. So,
got like a wine passport.
Yes.
Like you've only had a sparkling.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, to be fair, the reason I did start liking it was that I really needed to get a job. And so I started working at a winery. So you have to taste the wine and you have to sell the wine. And I'm sorry, but the wine I was selling was the best wine I've ever had. $80 a bottle. I can't afford that, but I miss it every day of my life. And so I would have a glass of wine for my after dinner drink somewhere like the Coffee Apothecary or Figment. Just like, I love having a glass of wine in a coffee shop, just super chilled. So that's where
all the aromas like pull in as well. I think when you're having it in a coffee shop, definitely. That's what I always loved about Figment is that they sell wine.
Yeah. And everyone that's in there is also like really chilled because you're going there just to kind of sit and relax and chat. And
no judgment. Yeah. People being like, this is a coffee establishment, you can't have wine.
Exactly.
Like, it's great. People just take it. It's great.
Exactly.
And in your wine days of working at is it a vineyard? Is that what?
A winery.
Yeah. Did you get any like celebrity guests coming for tours or anything?
We probably did, but since I was eventually fired from that job, Just purely because of my lack of wine knowledge.
Yeah.
Which
Like
makes
Kendall,
sense.
it's not working. You keep giving people water.
I mean, it wasn't surprising since I didn't even like wine before I started working there. So yes, we absolutely did get celebrities, but I would not have been privileged enough to meet them.
Yeah. Like, Kendall, we need you to go to the storeroom for something.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, what a shame. Don't know if it's a Scottish thing. Whenever like I'm speaking to anyone who's from America, I just assume that they see celebrities all the time. I'm like, do you meet any famous people? But it's a massive place. Of course you don't. Like,
yeah, and I'm not from California. Like my parents are. And we lived there because my husband was going to go to culinary school, which he ended up not doing. So we just lived there for fun.
Yeah.
And so, but no, I'm from the East Coast. So I'm from Richmond, Virginia. So like 2 hours south of Washington, D.C. And so we don't have a lot of celebrities there.
Just the president.
That I know
that
of
you don't
anyway.
see. Yeah,
exactly.
Like that I met. Great food choices. And I love that you spun it on its head and did a wee time travel. I like that. I like that a lot. I really do. So that takes us to our final question. And for me, whenever I'm cooking or getting through the mammoth tower of dishes, I need to have a good playlist on. What is that song that gets you into the baking zone when you're busy with Simply Donuts orders?
So I feel like this is the best way to end it, just because we literally just talked about celebrities, but I love the song Rockstar by A Great Big World.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean
I really caught you off guard there.
I'm trying to think of what that song is. Why does that song make your list? Is it just always do it for you?
I don't know. I'm also a musician, and so I don't know if maybe that's part of it, that maybe there's like this just secret dream inside myself to be a rock star. I mean, I've been a vocalist for years. That's cool. My instrument. And so I don't know. It's just so happy. I don't know. I just love
feel
it.
Good. A nice
it is.
So if I ever hear that song blading through Aberdeen, I'll be like, oh, she must be baking.
She's baking.
She's baking.
Yes.
Great. Oh, amazing. Well, it's such a great chat. And I loved hearing all of the backstory of Simply Donuts and how it all started and just your overall ethos. I could speak to you all day. It's amazing.
Aww,
really love it. Actually, I said it was going to be my final question, but I've actually just thought of another one that I'm going to ask.
Sure.
If there was anyone listening who's putting off starting their own dream business, whether it be bakery or just anything, what would be the kind of word of encouragement you would say to give them the final nudge to go do it?
Gosh, that's a really good question. I think if you're going to start a business, just make sure that you have your cheerleaders around you. I think that that's just one of the most important parts. People who can build you up, people who will be honest with you about what you're doing, that really just want to see you succeed. And also just know that you're going to make mistakes and it's all right. But you're also going to have being self-employed is the most amazing journey. I love it so much. It's so hard, but it's so good. But yeah, have your team of cheerleaders around you.
Love that.
Yeah.
Always positive. I love it. So good. So that takes us to the end of the episode. And I think it's been amazing having you on. And it's amazing having a business like yours in Aberdeen. And just, I think you touched on it earlier, but I do really think that people do really love your brand because it gives them excitement. It's that they want to get the order in, they want to be the first to get it, they want to get it so they can wow their friends and family and stuff. And I think it really has kept a lot of people going through and just a nice bit of positive thing for everyone to look at and keep seeing. Even little old me who didn't have them for so long, it was so nice to see everyone enjoying them, and it builds the excitement to be like, oh well, I'll get it one day. And you know what? I did.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. That's so
lovely.
No,
thank you so much for joining me, and you'll definitely see me at your garage door soon for another order.
Amazing.
Definitely. Right, we'll see you soon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Sometimes this hour window really isn't long enough, and I could have really spoke to Kendall all night. What a positive energy, positive attitude towards life. Just amazing to speak to and inspiring to hear how the whole story started. When I'm doing this podcast, I really do just love hearing the backstories to all these different brands that I'm speaking to, how they came to be, where they're going, and what they're up to. And it's just so nice to meet the people behind the brands, and that's why I love doing this podcast. Kendall said a lot of things that rung true to me there, and I know for me, I am the worst at overloading myself. August has been rammed with everything. A lot of things have happened in August. As everyone's busy. Sorry, my stomach's rumbling if you can hear that. August is usually a busy month for me anyway, and September is looking like a busy month again with a few things that are on the cards. So what do? I decide to record this podcast, but in all seriousness, I know I need to look at how busy I am and all the things I take on, but what Kendall said about kind of prioritizing and balance is key, and it's something I'm learning to do here, there, and every day. But we'll get there one day. I'm not doing it right now, but one day we will. But it is something that I stand by, and my friends will laugh at me because I say this all the time when I'm drunk. I usually do a little voice memo to camera. Time is currency. Spend it wisely. Spend it with who you want to spend it with. Spend it on things that you want to spend it on, and just make sure you're happy at the end of the day. And it's just how we need to do things. I think life is short. If this past year, 2 years nearly, has taught us anything, is that you can't take anything for granted. If you're currently in an office job but you want to be a butcher, go be a butcher. If you're sitting at home playing your guitar, singing away, and you wish you could just make music all the time, make music. Yes, obviously you can't quit your day job and just have nothing lined up and have no money, but if you have some sort of support around you and you've got means and you can make things happen, make it happen. What's stopping you? The amount of things that have come my way, not just in the time of me doing my blog, but in life in general, if I sat and if I cared about what people thought about me, I wouldn't get out of bed. I really wouldn't. But you've just got to go and do what you want to do. So anyone listening who is dreaming of owning their own business, or dreaming of writing a blog, or doing whatever, just do it, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be wondering what if, and if it doesn't work out, that's fine, at least you tried. So I'm going to stop with this motivational speaking. I don't take life too seriously at the best times, so this feels very out of character to me, but everyone just take stock of what you're doing and just be you. That's all you can be, can't you? So thank you once again for joining me tonight, or this morning, afternoon, or in your shower, wherever you listen. But I'll see you next time for more food chats, and we'll see who else we get on the podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell. You know how it all works. In the meantime, stay safe, eat well, and speak soon.